Why, hello, and welcome to issue 651 of Geek in the City Radio. I am one of your hosts, Aaron Duran.
I'm one of your other hosts, Beanarita.
And I am your other host, Cable Hashitani.
And I totally forgot that I turned off the intro when we were recording commentaries. That's why we jumped right into it. I was like, what the hell?
Okay, now I understand.
It's all so sudden.
I was like, what?
It's like, why are we suddenly live?
Right. That's how I felt, too. I was like, why? How can be?
Off to an excellent start, as usual.
Yeah, killing it. Fucking murdering it. That's right. You know what else should get murdered?
What's that?
Don't get me started on that.
Yes, I know.
He said what, not who.
Indoor spiders. No.
Indoor spiders. All right, because you have the Accords, right? Where the
Kittimer
Accords. The patio is like the neutral zone, like the demilitarized area. Beyond that is spider territory, and you're in their land. But
that's right.
Your home, they are the invaders.
Yeah, that's right. And since I call it the Kittimer Accords, I assume that they're like, patrolling within my territory. But if I can't see them, that means they're cloaked. And the good thing is that a ship cannot fire when it's cloaked, so I feel safe. But them little fuckers like decloak when I'm going to bed and they're right above me. I'm like, ah! I'm like, target that explosion and fire. Kate was looking at me like I'm an idiot, but it's a deep-seated mental scar of why I do not like spiders.
I am not looking at you like you're an idiot. I'm merely holding my tongue because I understand your deep-seated and natural fear of spiders.
Yes.
And don't want to dissuade whatever mental gymnastics you have to do to make it okay to live in a world that has spiders in it.
That's right.
That is all my face means.
Well, Aaron knows that I also am afeared of spiders, but within reason. I also am not going to be upset about a spider that is out of doors, or that's not, on me, or very nearly on me. Scorpions, on the other hand, must all die. They're actively vicious. They say a spider is more afraid of you than you are of it. And it's not looking to hurt you.
We say that a lot about things that I don't like. We say that about insects. I've made this comment before, I think even on the show, where we have snakes, right? And we have the cat and we have the dog. I understand dog brain. I understand cat brain. It's very food motivated. I understand snake brain. Snake brain is that reptilian brain is pretty much you're either a threat or you're food. If you're neither of those, they don't give a shit. They really don't. If you also happen to be a heat source, that's a point in your favor. It's like, well, I don't care about you, but you're also warm. I don't honestly believe that human beings can fathom insect brain, and that includes spiders and scorpions. I don't think they're mean. I don't think they're vicious. I don't think they're evil creatures. I don't think they think like we do at all. So I don't think they're scared of us. I don't think they know to be scared of us. We're enormous.
Right.
That whole comment from Nick Fury about that, or between Loki and Nick Fury, where it's like, does the ant have a quarrel with a boot? It's like, well, no, because ants can't perceive what the hell a human is. They're too tiny. Same with spiders. They're tiny. We're an obstacle. We're something to climb on. That said, I do respect the fact that the ones in Australia are human aggressive and are out to kill you. So there is still credence to be had for
huge
for Bean's theory,
like the size of dinner plates.
See, much like scorpions, the big ones are not the ones you have to worry about. It's the little ones.
Because they're more concentrated.
Yes, large scorpions aren't deadly to humans. They're venomous, but they're still not deadly to humans. Tiny scorpions will fucking kill you.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I think it also depends on the variety as well. There are
It does.
some varieties that are way more poisonous, or is it venomous? No, it's poisonous.
No, it's
way more-
venomous. If
Is
you
it?
eat
Okay.
it and it poisons you, it's poisonous. If it injects you with something, it's venomous.
Yes.
Right.
There it is.
If you bite it and it dies, then you're venomous. If you bite it and you both die, it means it was poisonous and you're venomous.
I think most people kill their scorpions before they eat them, though, so that kind of throws a wrench in that one.
I have been told that both scorpions and spiders, the ones you can eat, like once you clean them up or whatever, taste a lot like crab,
Yeah, that
Which-
tracks.
which makes sense.
That implies that they have like muscle inside of their exoskeletons.
Well, how do you think their exoskeleton moves? They have to have some kind of muscular tissue.
What do you think that goo is?
Why is it goo then? Why isn't it fibrous and meaty?
Well, I think when
Have-
you crush
Have you
one,
cracked open a live crab?
yeah, they're goo. I mean,
They're
they're
gooey.
yeah.
when they're alive, like before you've cooked it.
Well, not
Uh-huh.
their legs and claws. It's very stringy, but I think it's like when you step on a spider, most of that goo is like guts and abdomen stuff.
Right. For sure, organs are goo.
Yeah.
Once you squish them.
I'm glad that we are amusing the chat.
And I'm a
Crazy.
wide being, but I really love the phrase you just said. Right. Organs are goo. That just made me. I don't know. It's funny.
I know that with an insect, if you squish an insect, it's just goo, really.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
I
if
guess
you-
if there was something big enough to like squish a dog or a cat or like a sheep or something, it would also look like goo to the thing that is big enough to squish it.
If
That's
we
what
are
I mean. I
squished
think
by
if-
a kaiju, we're goo.
yeah, we're goo. Much like the spider that makes a crunchy noise when we step on it. I'm sure when Godzilla steps on us, it hears a slight. But
Okay,
mainly it looks out and goes,
here's-
"Oh, goo."
We're
know how
probably
big
not as
Godzilla is.
crunchy because all
Godzilla
our
doesn't
hard
hear
stuff was on
dick
the
when he
inside.
steps on us.
That's true. I'm just speaking in generality. What were you saying, that we're not crunchy? Yeah, we got bones. They
Well,
crunch.
no, I would say that we're probably like when we get squished, it's not an equally satisfying crunch because all of our bones are on the inside versus things like crabs and scorpions have the hard exoskeleton, so the crunch is on the outside.
So you're
feel
saying-
like
So what you're saying is that like insects and crabs, they're like Reese's Pieces. So they're crunchy on the outside and gooey in the middle.
Yes.
But we're kind of
exactly.
like a Reese's peanut butter cup, but the one that they put pretzels in. Like we are gooey on the outside and soft, but then you get to that nice pretzel like crunch, which is where all the salt is too. So it's delicious.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I feel like that you're asking for a science experiment to determine which is crunchier, humans or spiders,
Well,
to be
I
done.
mean-
And I don't think we're going to get funding for that.
no.
I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to do that research. I'm just an ideas man.
You're not going to be a scientist with that attitude.
I'm too old and my brain is too busted, I think, at this point to even pursue.
Well, I mean-
Have you met scientists?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean, think about it. We know some.
and then what do
Yeah.
you do? Like, do you find so weird. Do you find a human that's the size of a spider? Ignoring the ethics of still killing something that's sentient, let's assume that the tiny spider-sized human is sentient. Or
I mean,
do
you
you try
don't
to
have to
breed a
kill-
spider that's the size of a person?
You don't have to kill an alive person to run this experiment. You just need a fresh corpse donated for scientific purposes. And then we need a crushing mechanism that is to scale as a spider is to a human foot.
See, she's a scientist.
Yeah, that's how scientists think.
Well,
you
that's
know?
just logic. That's just
Well, that-
that's just basic.
Which is how scientists think.
Which is how
But
science works.
stop denying that you're the science officer.
Yeah.
It's
either that or you go back
as long
to
as I don't
command.
also have to be command. No,
Yeah.
no, I'm done with command anything.
I think we
It's
go
fine, I'm
pop
security.
then crunch.
We're good.
We go pop then crunch.
Yes, we would pop because we have a soft, balloon-like shell.
Yeah.
I think it would depend on the force of the impact that squishes us.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
Yeah.
That comes into play as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, because there is impact liquefaction.
Yep.
Which I
As opposed to the slow press, especially if there's like a limited number of exit points for that crushed item. It's like that whole like YouTube series. It's like we're gonna run this through the squisher,
Yeah.
Oh, I love those.
but
Those
like
are
slow.
the chopper thing.
Yes.
It's like just like the I don't know if either of you remember the show Will It Blend or Does It Blend?
Mm-hmm.
That was an oddly satisfying YouTube series to watch. I know it was mainly just to advertise this blender, I think.
Bex brings up a really interesting point. This is sad for us, I think, but kaiju have built-in air fryers so then they could like make us crispy before. So we don't have to be a Reese's peanut butter cup with a pretzel middle. We can now be a deep fried Reese's peanut butter cup with a pretzel middle.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it depend on the kaiju?
It would. I was going to go with some kaiju do have breath weapon or eye weapon that can do that.
So we're more or less candy to them, but fresh chicken nuggets that they have to.
At our size, I feel like we're less chicken nugget and more like fried grasshopper.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're so tiny by comparison.
Although if you get enough of us, we would probably be more like katsu pork because people taste of pig.
Like we're like chicken nuggets or pork nuggets, pork rinds to T-Rex, large dinosaurs. But kaiju are huge.
I do take a weird pleasure in thinking that I could be like a chicharron for like a fire-breathing dragon or a fire-breathing T-Rex or something. It's like coming home again,
the dorkiest Mexican thing you've ever said.
Yeah.
And
So
that's saying something.
The Latino circle of life. Now imagine a T-Rex with tiny arms holding up a chicharron like yeah, but it's like Tejano style.
Now hold on, I want to back up a little bit. Are you saying that like a Godzilla type creature is way bigger than a dinosaur?
Yes.
Dinosaur,
like they're roughly the size of what they are when we've seen them in Jurassic Park. So a human would still fit in their mouth, right?
Yeah.
But you could tell it was a human going into their mouth. Godzilla is 20 of those stacked on top of each other. Godzilla is the size. Yeah, Godzilla is the size of like Big Pink.
Yes, you're right. I'm picturing it now. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, a dinosaur is like bigger than a house, but depending on the dinosaur, like a Triceratops is just like a really big hippo or elephant. Por ejemplo. But yeah, Godzilla can tear up an entire major metropolitan downtown. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, Godzilla would decimate Portland inside of 15, 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's just a fucking couple steps, I guess.
Yep.
And then where does a King Kong fit into that? Because a King Kong is big enough that it can hold a human in its hand,
Yeah, I feel like this is weird territory because Kong is smaller than Godzilla.
For sure.
Until King Kong versus Godzilla under like the Monarch universe, where basically the Kong of Skull Island was big, but he was still like a preteen. Yeah, and in the one in Kong versus Godzilla is a full-blown adult and is big.
Well, there's a lot of research that says that like basically a species will either grow in size or shrink down in size based on their environment. And so, like, if you're a type of primate that lives on a relatively small island where resources are a little bit scarcer, you just generally tend to evolve to not be as big and not be quite so populous, so that you're naturally living within the means of your resources.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
if your island is big enough, your Kong can become even bigger and, like, you know, be
I
able to
feel
stand up to a Godzilla.
I feel like that starts to fall apart when you think about how much meat or how much food something of that size would have to, what their daily intake would be,
Yeah,
and how
especially
far
since
they would have to spread in order to find that food.
especially
Well,
I think
King Kong
aren't
is like
gorillas.
a gorilla, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're vegetarian.
Kong wasn't.
No, Kong wasn't.
I
He
that
wasn't
I
a
cannot
carnivore,
speak
but he
to.
wasn't. He was omnivorous.
Mm. Well, I mean, we know full well a gorilla will kill a man, but is he doing it for food?
No.
No,
And apparently gorillas are actually very timid. They only strike back if they have to.
And Norm
man, this
asks,
is one of the weirdest show starts that I think we've done.
I haven't even
Oh, hold
spun
on.
off to the weird thing that I learned about rattlesnakes.
hold on. But before we change it up, Norm wants to know if you get high and Godzilla eats you, does he get high?
No,
No, because Godzilla would have to eat a lot of high people.
Godzilla would have to eat a pot farm.
Yeah.
Because it's already in your bloodstream.
Yeah, we like. He'd have to eat a pot field full of people in order for that to start
Yeah.
to kick in.
And that's our assumption that Godzilla even metabolizes THC cannabis the same
Right.
way mammals do, because Godzilla's not a mammal.
It's a very different
This is true.
physiology.
Yeah, so the only way to do that is to see if the scientists have tried to get like a lizard stoned. But again, I feel like that's an ethical gray area. I don't know if they would do that.
Yeah.
You know, some undergrad's been like, we'll blow smoke into this iguana's face.
Oh
Or
yeah,
just some stoners with pets.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
totally.
Wow. Huh.
I've never bothered to try to get either of the snakes stoned, so I don't know. It's not my jam.
What
I know.
also, I mean,
Also, they
A,
can
it's,
buy their own gummies.
yeah, it's ethically wrong. And, you know, it's a waste of your drug money.
It's the same
It's like
reason no one is trying to give your kids drugs
Yep.
on Halloween.
No one.
That shit's
no
for
one,
us.
No one is giving your little snot machines their drugs.
Nope.
You know how much the Halloween candy by itself costs? Fuck you.
Yep.
I know, especially since they started making it out of spiders.
What?
I'm trying to bring it all back to the spider thing.
Oh, okay.
Norm is, yeah, we did get dolphins addicted to LSD. Well, dolphins are dicks, so
And also really intelligent.
it's probably what makes them dicks.
And I think dolphins are already addicted to sex. I think they did that on their own.
Yeah, dolphins are not big on consent, even for
Other species?
yeah,
Yeah.
even things that are unalive. They're like, that'll work.
Okay, maybe we did do that to them.
No, I feel like they probably did it before. What was that?
Bex is very disappointing going through the kids' candy every year and finding no adult candy. That would be disappointing.
No, I heard like a weird roar in the background. I thought someone was playing like a roar sound effect, and I was like, "Where the hell is that?"
I can still hear it. It's like a static wave.
It's gone for me now. It's
I can
weird.
still hear it just a little bit.
And it's coming from inside your house.
Bex, set yourself up for success. Next October, 28th, go to the adult candy store and stock up. And you know what? You should even get your own little bucket. Get your own little bucket and put your adult candy in there. When kids get home, let them have their
Yeah.
crappy Tootsie Rolls and fucking sweet tart lollipops. You've got your own shit.
Or if you just take them trick or treating, kids are cute enough. Maybe if you have them ask really nicely and add like, "It's for my mom."
Do you have any drugs for my mom?
That's never going to work.
No. I mean, my mom used to send me into town for smokes when I was not of age. That worked. I guess I had to pay for them still.
That was also not okay.
I know. Small towns, all.
Just because it happened didn't make it okay.
How dare.
That's a separate conversation, Cable. We're just talking about whether or not it happened.
That's an entire show. That's right. It's not a conversation. That's a show. That's an episode. That's probably a series.
This is not that kind of show, though.
No.
What kind of show is it, you guys?
I still hadn't got to my rattlesnake fact.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tell your rattlesnake story.
Well, actually, it's horrifying.
Oh, God. All right. Buckle up.
Good.
They're discovering more and more rattle-free rattlesnakes in Texas because rattles are a giveaway and the rattlesnake is evolving to lose its rattle.
Yep.
So that's cool. And also still baby rattlesnakes are the most dangerous because they don't have a rattle and they don't know how to control their venom sacs. So if they bite you, they just the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
I heard that. I think that's fine. Humans don't belong in the desert.
Good night. That was my rattlesnake fact.
Bye. All right, so you and me now, Cable.
Ooh.
Cool.
Be careful not to slide so much. I almost pulled the whole damn computer with me.
Yeah, don't do that.
No.
Yay, Bex!
And
I
then
approve
there
of this
went the
message.
show.
Bex, if you do that, I want a picture of you in the dispensary holding a pumpkin bucket. Please, sir, can I have some gummies? Wait, that's Oliver Twist. I also encourage you to dress up like Oliver Twist and go to the dispensary.
Oh, definitely pictures. Definitely pictures of that.
That's right.
All right. Back
By
to
the way,
the show.
we're all sober, actually.
Mm-hmm.
A little dehydrated, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, back to the show. What were you gonna say?
So we're not the kind of show that's going to discuss the social intricacies of selling cigarettes to kids, even if you believe it's for their parents in a small town. What is this kind of show?
We talk about geek stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of geek stuff are we talking about tonight?
Well, I think in this particular case, after we come back from the break, we're going to dive into LegoCon, which is happened this past Saturday, and then we're going to go ahead and head back to the land of the Avatar and talk about the next 2 episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Woohoo, which I totally lost track of what episode we were on, so hopefully I watched the right ones.
It was 16 and 17.
I did not watch the right ones because the Netflix numbering is still off and I haven't figured it out.
Yep,
well, it's just gonna be that way till the end of the season.
All right. Someone give me a spreadsheet.
But yeah, and then I think we'll probably close out the show by teasing what we're doing next week.
Yes.
Oh,
we're
that's
excited for
right.
next week.
But first,
Should we just tease it now before we go to the break?
Yeah, let's.
That way we're not all
do it.
loopy at the end and give
you
it a
know
short
more
service.
about this than I think we do. We have the short notes. You have the invite.
Oh shit! Well, she just sent me a Facebook invite that said, "Hey, you want
Oh,
them?"
that's fine. Okay, then you don't know more.
Hold on, I'm looking it up. Hold on. Damn it.
Still missed this part of this conversation.
So yeah, the last week of June, we will be at,
Which is next week.
Oh my god, fuck me this month.
So
next week, Geek in a City will be at the Portland Horror Film Festival. We have been officially invited, which is super cool. It is 5 days of horror. Now it's not all day, but that's still 5 days of horror films spread out between
a lot of programming.
Yeah, 2 theaters, the Hollywood Theater and the Clinton Street Theater. Ooh.
Fantastic.
So it
That
starts
means we
on-
can go to Dottie's across from the.
Yes,
That's
Dotties,
amazing.
late night Dotties.
So that it starts next Wednesday, and it's 4 hours at the Hollywood. Thursday, 4 hours at the Hollywood in the evening. It's like 7 to 11. Friday, same thing, Hollywood, 4 hours in the evening. Saturday, it's from 12 to 4 in the afternoon at the Clinton Street Theater. And then Sunday is 12 to 4 at the Clinton, and then 6 to 11 at the Hollywood to close out.
Ooh.
Yep. I think the one of the big names that's kind of a judge for entries. Well, like full disclosure, this is put on by the same group that puts on the H.P. Lovecraft Film Fest. So it's Gwen and Brian. Gwen has been a guest of the show before, and we've talked to her before. I know they've run the Portland Horror Film Fest for a number of years. I've never been, and I think it's largely because my schedule never allowed, and now it does. So
Yeah.
I can go play. So I'm excited for this to be the first time I've ever gotten to go to this. I don't know about the two of you, if you've got before.
I've
It
never
is
been
also
able to
my
go.
first time.
This is
Yeah,
going to
for
be
similar
fantastic.
reasons, like work stuff or pandemics.
Probably
Yes.
because you guys were never available, and you are my like two people who enjoy going to horror the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. my
Well, I'm a
yeah.
weirdo. I don't do things by myself. So, yeah, I'm super excited. Essentially, yeah, 5 days of content programming of my favorite variety.
And so it does mean we're going to be one commentary short for the month of July. Instead, we're going to have a little mini episode that will be whatever we manage to record over a 5-day period and Aaron slaps together.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aaron.
Oh, hey, you're welcome. I volunteer.
And so that will be the first. We're gonna like stack that up in the front, right? So it's the first installment of July content
I think so.
for everyone.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So it's kind of an
super-
after report.
I'm really hoping we maybe get a chance to meet and maybe interview their judge for 2022, Mick Garris. You may not know his name. If you see a picture of him, if you're a horror fan junkie, you probably recognize him. Well, if you're a horror film junkie, you fucking know who Mick Garris is. Literally think of any of your favorite sci-fi, fantasy, or horror films from like 1982 on, and the odds that he was involved one way or another are very high. Like to go down his like CV would be ridiculous. I think he like co-wrote like Batteries Not Included. He worked on Amazing Stories. He worked on Nightmares and Dreams. I mean, he's done a lot.
He's got credits as a writer, producer, director, actor, composer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
He looks a little bit like what's the dude from Stranger Things? Matthew Modine.
Oh, a little
with
bit.
Really long hair.
With long hair. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I could see that. That tracks. So yeah, that'd be cool if we could chat with him. That'd be pretty awesome.
But yeah, if you're in Portland and this sounds like something that you're interested in going to, tickets are still available. I believe you can buy tickets for just specific nights, or you can buy the full-fledged all-week-long pass.
Yeah, the VIP one is done. That wrapped on the 20th of June. They quit selling those. Also, when I'm there, if they have any shirts there, I want to buy the Bride of Satanic Panic shirt. That's a cool fucking shirt. It's on the website.
I'll have to check that out.
Going there now.
It's pretty bitchin'. It's like a shirt I would wear to a Twin Temple concert.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Who I apparently just missed like a month ago, which is annoying.
Oh man, I'm so out of the loop on what lives are playing right now. I missed. Like I always found out like 2 days after, and I'm like, wait, they were here? What? So.
Or something
I know,
canceled.
I'm having the same thing.
or something happened. They couldn't perform because they're, unless things have changed, they are on tour with Ghost.
Oh, okay.
Like they're the opening,
Wow.
quote, opening act. That means they probably play for like 45 minutes. So,
Meh.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, catch us at the Portland Horror Film Festival. Yeah, if you see us, like, come say hi. Like, don't be all shy and weird.
Yeah, come up to us and be, open and weird.
Yeah,
We're used to that.
yeah,
we will
that,
be
yeah.
equally weird with you.
Mhm. Yeah. Did you listen to the opening of the show? We'll just start talking to you about fucking if we taste more like spiders. Yeah, don't come with me with a spider. That's not cool.
Unnecessary.
Don't bring spiders to the theater. No one is saying that. Absolutely
true.
no one.
It's not a William Castle
No,
movie,
no,
so don't bring a
don't
bag
do
of
that.
like plastic spiders and
Don't do that.
That's like when we did the Snakes on the Plane premiere like over a decade ago. Jen brought a bunch of rubber snakes to the theater and threw them blindly into the crowd during the snake attack scene. Allegedly.
I mean, I feel as though that you're not going to get anyone there that's a complete herpetophobe, because otherwise they wouldn't make it through the movie. I don't know how they would have made it through commercials for the movie.
Right. Wait, what's it? What was the word? Whataphobe?
Snakeophobe. Herpetologist is someone who studies snakes, so herpetophobe.
I guess snakes and reptiles.
Yep.
Why did-
But you can also, apparently snakeophobe is accepted terminology because it's a living language and we don't care.
Yeah, that's fine.
We speak at each other in memes. Oh my God. I had a coworker describe Darmok, the episode Darmok from TNG, as, Picard then has to talk to this alien race who only speaks in memes. And I'm like, you're not wrong.
Not wholly wrong.
That would be the modern day equivalent.
Yeah, and we're headed there because there are generations of people who do speak to each other just in memes,
Yeah.
much the way that nerds speak to each other in movie quotes.
Yes. No, that's a complaint that's been around since at least the 90s. Like, kids today talking all weird.
That was literally, it's always been the human complaint. You can actually find fascinating the irony of this letters to the editor in the first newspapers where they are complaining that people don't talk anymore. Their heads are buried in the daily newspaper.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, no, we've always pissed and moaned about whatever is new and is like destroying whatever.
It's destroying society.
Ah, no. Yeah, one day you'll describe, I don't know, feeling righteous anger as like Vin Diesel when family threatened.
Great.
Chris Pratt, his arms out.
So yeah,
Hey, let's
Well,
take a break and come
yeah,
back
let's
to
do it.
Lego Con.
yeah, that sounds great.
Super sweet. Hey, and we're back where you got actual official contact information for the Portland Horror Con. Horror Fest.
Portland Horror Film Fest.
Festival, yes. Yeah, we're back.
Old man yelling at cloud intensive eyes. That was me all day yesterday. It was a grumpy old man.
Yeah. Hey, really quick, Cable. I don't know who is running Guardian's TikTok, but they're doing a very good job.
Oh, why did you have to tell me that? Now I have
Oh.
to tell her that, and I'm already hear about it more than I want to. Thanks.
Oh,
Now
I'll be
you're
sure to
you're
tell
old
her
man
that.
again.
sorry. I just see them and like these are very well done without being like pandering to modern TikTok trends.
Cool. I will let her know. I will give her a shout out right now. Congratulations, Madison Friley. You're a content creator. I'm
Woo.
never going to let you live this down.
Is that something that would make them unhappy to learn that
No,
they are?
she's gonna fucking scream. It's gonna thrill her. She's gonna be so. Here's the thing. Madison is great. I love working with her. The thing that annoys me about her, and she and I have had this discussion a lot, is the fact that she's me when I was that age. And that's the thing that frustrates me the most about her. It's like, oh, good Lord. It's like every dumb thing that you do is every dumb thing that I did when I was 23. Fantastic. You don't listen to me any more than 23-year-old me listen to anybody.
Anybody. Yeah, you just gotta let the kids make their own mistakes.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I do. I try to let her run headlong into the wall every single time. It's really hard. It's like, oh man, that's gonna hurt. I'm gonna let it happen.
It's the only way they learn, Cable.
Get your popcorn ready.
I know. It's still painful. Like if it was just, oh, they're young and dumb. It's like, oh, you're a specific kind of dumb that I was. I recognize this. I
identify
100%.
this dumb.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this was my dumb. Great.
Just pretend you're the Hogfather giving a young girl a sword.
Yeah, I'm. Yep. No, she
What
already
father?
came. Yep.
In these books, Death is called the Hogfather, right? It's one of the names. Or am I-
No, you're conflating a
Oh,
bunch
man,
of
the
things.
Terry Pratchett fans are gonna come at me
Terry
hard.
Pratchett Discworld books. Death is a regular character. He makes a guest appearance in Good Omens.
Yeah.
The characterization of Death from the Discworld books is the same characterization of Death in the novel that Terry and Neil wrote together, Good Omens. Specifically, the way you know this is whenever Death speaks, it's never in quotes and it's always capital letters.
Yeah.
So he has a voice that Netflix or the BBC made a few Discworld movies. One of them was a Christmas movie, but they don't have Christmas and they don't have Santa. They have the Hogfather, who dresses in red and white and has a sleigh pulled by magical pigs, magical hogs that fly over Discworld, and he drops presents. Santa dies, the Hogfather dies, and Death, who's come to collect him, he's like, dude, it's Christmas Day. Like, somebody has to go do this. Like, I get that I'm dead, but someone has to do it. So Death puts on the robes of the Hogfather and goes delivering presents. And it goes about as well as The Nightmare Before Christmas did.
Yeah.
One of the things the thing that Aaron is referencing is he shows up at his house and he gives this child, like a 6 or 7-year-old child, a sword. And the parents are furious with him. It's like,
They're like, you can't
Yeah.
give a little girl a sword. And
It's like,
Death's
why?
like, a sword is a perfectly acceptable gift. She should know how to use one. And the parents are like, but she could cut herself. And Death leans in close and says, and that's an important lesson to learn too. Everyone out there should actually go read Terry Pratchett. The great thing about the Discworld series is you can kind of start anywhere.
Yep. Just pick a book. If you don't like the one that you're reading, pick a different one.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you I think I've read like 5 of the Discworld books. Like one of them I'm like, this isn't for me. And then I read a different one. I'm like, oh, this was really fucking funny. So it's
you
choose your own adventure.
You don't have to read them in order, and you don't have to read them all.
Nope.
No, the way it's designed.
I've been wanting to read that series, and now I don't.
I'm sure there are recommendations of where you should start depending on your own genre preference.
Sure.
But there is no chronological. Well, I don't want to get your like OCD reading brain going anywhere, but like there technically is things that happen, but you don't need to read it in order.
Here's the thing is like, I probably shouldn't care so much because I'm not going to remember any of it by the time I get to the end anyway. So like, what the fuck do you care, dum-dum? But I'm like, it just makes me itchy. It makes me itchy. The idea that like, just pick one up. Just pick one up. Like throw them in a pile. Like, shuffle them around and just pick one. That's like I'm like agitated right now.
The great coincidence is that Terry Pratchett would absolutely adore that approach to reading his books.
Yeah, he would.
Shuffle them about.
Yeah. It's like that story of God, what's his name? Maurice Sendak, the guy who wrote Where the Wild Things Are. This kid, like this young kid, like absolutely adored Where the Wild Things Are, and he wrote a letter to Maurice Sendak, who was like notoriously very curmudgeon. He just didn't suffer fools, and he actually felt that kids were better to be around than adults. He was like, they're still humans and we all suck, but he was like, kids are honest with you, they don't hide anything. But this young boy like wrote him a letter saying, I love this book so much, it is my favorite book, thank you so much for writing this book, I want to live where the wild things are, I want to live there. And Maurice Sendak was like really touched by that, so he wrote the kid back and drew him an original piece of artwork. The mom wrote Maurice Sendak back apparently a few weeks later and said, I want to apologize. My son got your letter and loved it. He loved your picture. Then he just ate it. She's like, I'm very sorry. I don't mean to be insulting. And he wrote back saying, that is the greatest compliment I could ever receive. He's like, that is wonderful.
It's an excellent weirdo to weirdo just interaction there.
Yeah. Anyway, go read Terry Pratchett.
Now I have to find like some sort of like internet thing that's going to tell me how to do it.
Don't do it.
Nope.
I can't just pick one and go.
Honestly, I think if you actually just go on Twitter and say, I want to start Discworld. I know they're not in order. What do you recommend to start at? And you'll get a bunch of different answers, but
I wouldn't do that. Find a friend that has any Discworld books and just have them pick one for you.
Well, that would be what me tweeting about it would do, because I have like 6 followers on Twitter and they all know me. So
that seems inaccurate.
I have no idea how many people I am connected with on Twitter, but I'm pretty sure I know most of them.
Yeah, I will give you the one that I started with, and it seemed to work for me. I started with The Color of Magic.
Let me write that down.
There you go.
Oh, and it's depending where you find it, it's either the British spelling of color or the US one. And it is technically the first one. Yeah. But after there, you can just go fuck all and go wherever you want.
Denise, you have 438 followers.
Oh, look at me. I'm popular.
I mean, I could throw you off more and say, or you can start with the Death trilogy that he wrote, even though Death is a main character in Discworld. Death has its own series.
Death is hilarious.
That's right. And also there's the Witches. They're also in Discworld. They also got their own series.
Mm-hmm.
See where I'm going with this? You can kind of go wherever the fuck you want in Discworld.
All right. I mean, I'm not actually writing it off as a thing I'm not going to do now, but it's just going to be that much harder for me to pull the trigger now.
Then there's the City Watch books also.
All right. Let's move on because I'm going to lose it.
All right. LegoCon.
LegoCon. Oh, you mean the thing that we actually said we're going to talk about?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's been fun to actually do this.
To it.
Yes, this is just I like random episodes, random topic episodes. And the fun thing is it doesn't matter how many times we do this. We're going to see each other for 5 days next week, and we're still going to do this bullshit.
That'd be great.
So if you're enjoying this, listeners,
you can enjoy it in person.
Catch us outside the Hollywood.
So last year was the first year that Lego did this, and they basically ran a convention out of the Lego house in Billund, so that people could connect with people. Like, people weren't being able to go to regular Lego conventions and whatnot, so they came up with this. So this is LegoCon 2022, and sorry, I'm going to answer vocally to the text. I am not one of those people. If you want to call it Legos, you can call it Legos. I call it Lego bricks. and that is the nomenclature preferred by AFOLs. Legos, Lego bricks. It's all the same to me in the context of us talking about it on a nerd show. Anyway,
Will we get bent on the shape about that?
pardon?
Do people
Oh.
sometimes?
The
Why am I asking that? Of course, people do.
there is a pocket of the fandom, the adult fandom of Lego, that reacts to pedantic things the way that Trek Bros react to Trek, that Star Trek Bros react to Star Wars Bros act to Star Wars, etc., etc., etc. There's always going to be that group. Yes, gatekeepers. That's the shorthand. Thanks. They're not great. I don't care about them.
Okay, yeah, I tried to do. I was like, really?
This
People?
is 100% a safe space. If you want to call them Legos, cool, do it. The time period where I got pissy about that was, again, when I was younger and dumb.
Look, my grandma still calls it Star Trek, and I'm not going to correct her.
Yeah, no. Why would you?
No.
She's just going to hit you with a shoe. So this year's LegoCon, what's powering behind it is this is also the 90th anniversary year of Lego.
Wow.
So Lego's been in business for 90 years. It amazes me. I'm like, well, fuck, they're almost a century old as a company. It was broadcast again from the Lego house in Billund, Denmark. The hosts were, one of them was Melvin Odum, who is the host of, I think, the Lego Masters UK, much the way that Lego Batman is I can't remember his name. What's his name?
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett, thank you. I was going to go with Joe Bluth next because I couldn't remember.
That's also an acceptable answer.
Yeah.
So that's what Melvin does, is he kind of does that. A writer actor named Vic Hope, who I'm not familiar with, but she reminded me a lot of Downtown Julie Brown from 80s MTV. And yet I wasn't annoyed by her. So yeah.
Vic Hope is her name?
Vic Hope. And then the other Vic Hope's co-host for this was Joel fucking McHale.
I bet he's a huge Lego nerd.
See, and that is the biggest question that I came away from the LegoCon with, is now I want to be in a room with Joel McHale where there are no cameras and go, hey, so one, I know that you're a cool dude because I don't care how sarcastic and sardonic any of the characters you've ever played are, and that's the persona that you put on camera. Everyone that you work with has nothing but kind things to say about you.
Well, that's good to know.
Right.
Like every actor that he's worked with, they're like, I love Joel McHale. It's like, nope, you're not really an asshole then. You're a sarcastic asshole by trade, but that's not who you are, or those people don't care.
So then are you imagining that Lego is to Joel McHale what Superman is to Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I legitimately believe that he is an adult fan of Lego. Like when Lego Dimensions, the video game, came out, he was their spokesperson.
Huh.
Oh, that's cool.
And apparently still gets asked a lot about Lego Dimensions, which is, again, not coming back. I'm going to say this up front, too. If anybody wants to watch LegoCon, it's on Lego's YouTube channel. Just go to it, and it's right there.
Oh, cool.
It's 90 minutes. That's about 2 hours. It's about 2 hours long. 2.5. It's long. It's an investment of time. So you're going to watch it. A lot of the highlights, I've got, they covered so many things. They covered, they had a live build by Lego Masters Live throughout the broadcast. They covered Lightyear, Marvel, Classic Space, Classic Castle, the collectible minifig series, Ninjago, Minecraft, Friends, Harry Potter, Super Mario Brothers, the Lego Stunts, Technic, Star Wars, and then they introduced a new theme, and they profiled an artist. So those, that's the big scope of all the things they covered. There was a bunch of little news that they also brought up, like things like Legoland South Korea is opening this year, which makes this the 10th international Legoland.
I didn't know they had that many Legolands.
Yeah, me neither.
10 of them.
Wow.
There's a bunch of there are 2 new Lego video games that are coming out. I think one of them is called Brick Tales and the other is called Brawls.
Ooh.
Both of them, I know Brawls is currently available on Apple through their Apple Arcade, which you have to pay for. But it's, it's a family-friendly, put your minifig together and beat up other minifigs. Brick Tales is more of puzzle solving and brick building and creative thinking. That's neat. They mentioned that Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga came out this year. And it is the largest Lego video game launch to date with 5 million players.
Wow.
I really want to get that on the Switch. That feels like a good Switch game.
Because it's all 9 movies in Lego form.
Also, apparently, Weird Al is a character in the Skywalker Saga game.
Of course he is.
Yep.
Of course he is.
They just showed that. And he was like, I'm a Lego minifig. I was like, what?
Yep. They gave some news about their sustainability, where on 150 different Lego building elements, unique bricks, Lego has been using sugarcane-based plastic. Mm-hmm. They're making a concentrated effort by this year. 1/2 of their entire product line will contain at least one brick or brick type that is made with this sustainable plastic, which is still pushing they're still pushing forward to try and get this done by 2030, where all bricks are sustainable, right, and no longer made with petroleum-based plastics. It's hard to say. There's some new floral designs coming out in the Lego art sets. That's the same line where people have been making botanicals, and then mosaic. It's the mosaic artwork. So, is there any particular highlight or anything that you guys want to know about personally?
I want to be just utterly without shame.
Mm-hmm.
And let people know that if they have ever wanted to ever get me something to be like, hey, thanks for entertaining me for free for the last 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
Comic gigs sometimes take years to pay off, which is what I'm experiencing right now. Mm-hmm. And I rather selfishly, I want the Galaxy Explorer. It was the first Lego set I ever owned when I was 5 years old.
You have the link. You should totally put it up in there. So that was one of the
I'm going to do it right now.
Do it.
And don't forget to remind listeners that right over there is a little QR code.
There's if you scan that, you can donate on our PayPal to help us out.
I'm going to make this real simple for people. 20 of you chip in $5. It is $100. It is well. I
feel so slimy doing that.
You're not doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this on your behalf.
It's
$10 from 10 people. Simple. 5 people, $20. There are so many easy ways to do this. I have thought long and hard about how to get larger sets as gifts from people. It's dude, there's 10 of you. Go in on this. It costs you nothing, and then I have a $500 set.
That's literally what because my sister loves Lego. She likes basically all the castles. She builds them with her daughter, and that's basically what she does. For a while, every birthday or Christmas or whatever, when people ask what do you want, she'll just say Lego gift cards, and she just saves them up
Yep.
until she has enough to get like the big castle that she wants.
Well, then we'll cover that
Smart.
one as we'll cover that big news as well. So, as part of their 90th anniversary, the Lego Corp or Lego Group, not Corp, specifically the Lego Group, has been working on reimagining a lot of older sets, classic sets. So the Galaxy Explorer came out in 1979, and it was set number 497. And it was, about yay big. It was a blue with a gray elements and a trans clear space or
The
visor.
yellow.
Yeah. Transparent yellow. It did this neat folding opening in the backward so you could drive the little car out. It was a great little set. This, the reimagining of the Galaxy Explorer, which is model number 10497, is twice that size.
Oh, I didn't even read the details yet.
Yeah. So
I did read
scaled
they
it-
gave it landing gear.
Yes, they gave it landing gear. It comes with 4 minifigs. The cockpit is large enough for 4 minifigs. There is now space in the back for sleeping quarters as well as a science station. The back still opens up. The rockets pop off so they can be ridden separately. And they made it larger so that adults who are reliving their childhood by playing with this again gives you that same feeling like, oh, this is a big ship, even though it was big when you were 6.
Yeah. I mean, in my memory.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Let's say I would have been 8 in 1979. So like I remember this thing. I didn't have it, but I do remember it coming out. So yeah, it's bigger, and I believe it also comes with alternate model instructions so that you can build it the way it originally was.
Oh
You'll
shit!
have a lot
That's
of
cool.
extra parts, but you'll have the smaller one as well. It's really cool. And that they announced that on top of unveiling another classic set, sort of. One of the thing that got me back into Lego myself when I was a teenager was the Castle series.
Yeah.
I collected as many of the castle sets as I could. I didn't get a lot of the big castles, but I got a lot of the like up to $40 and $50 sets. So they are releasing what's called the Lion Knights Castle, and it is inspired by the entire system, not just any specific castle, because it is enormous. This is a
It is
$400 set.
Wow.
It's over 4,000 pieces. It's absolutely gorgeous. The drawbridge function on it is actually taken from a historical castle and operates the same way. There's a tree element with a hidden cave on it that is an homage to the Forestman's Hidden Outpost set, which I have. It was like, so there are all these elements, like they've got, there's barding for a couple of the horses, which used to be an element in Castle before they kind of Castle gave way to Vikings, and then Vikings didn't take off very well because
right.
I think it didn't do very well because it was like 10 years too soon for Lego. Like if
Vikings would do really well now.
Yes, there is a Viking creator set. There's a 3-in-1 creator Viking set that is doing gangbusters for that specific reason. Like you can, it's either a Viking boat, or you can rebuild it as a Viking camp, or you can rebuild it as, I think, Vikings fighting the Fenris Wolf.
That's cool.
So those are things that have come out that are amazing. The Galaxy Explorer and the Castle are both pre-orderable. They don't come out until August. The Galaxy Explorer will ship August 1st.
Yeah.
And that's it's $100. It's of all of these, it's like, oh, that's pretty good. The classic, the Lion Knights Castle, which is gorgeous. Like, I don't need it. Like, it's one of those, I appreciate its existence.
That's damn impressive.
It is.
Yeah.
It comes out August 8th, and again is $400. So if you want to save up for that now.
All right, now I want to hear all about Cad Bane's Justifier ship.
Oh my god. Okay, so they always save
Yes.
Star Wars for last. The two, like, they've been announcing Star Wars things. Star Wars just gets more stuff every single year.
Yeah.
Totally. They, for the Star Wars segment, they had one of the Lego designers who works on the Star Wars team take folks inside of the Innovation Building, which is the one top secret building on the entire Lego campus.
How cool is that?
Yeah. So it's like there are a limited number of people who can actually go there. You have to be one of the designers, because every Lego set that exists on the shelf started 3 years ago at the Innovation Building. I think one of the funniest things they did was they give you the tour. They said they have access as designers to every color and every Lego brick in existence. And they walked through what looked like a library and an auto parts store simultaneous, because it was all those pick bins. And they would just go up and down aisles with carts, put the bricks that they wanted in, and then go back to their desk, which has 3 monitors and a large workspace where they can just build something.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah, but when they were closing it out, they said, and here's the line for 2023, and he points to this wall where they've basically redacted the entire wall. It's all pixelated in giant pixel blocks. It's like, that's funny. That's well done. And he's like, pulls one down. It's like, I mean, look at this thing. Here we have the beep, and it's got beep, and then these beep, 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 beep. I'm like, well, now it's really funny to think that you're swearing, and that's why they're beeping you, but that's not what's happening. So, the two things that they unveiled for LegoCon was, like Denise was saying, Cad Bane's The Justifier. It's was taken from the first season of The Bad Batch, where Cad Bane tries to collect the bounty on Omega. So it comes with a new Cad Bane minifig. There's already been one.
Right.
But he's got it looks like he's got a new head, or at least breathing apparatus piece, a new hat, and I think they said that he came with new element, like at least 3 new elements that was new to him. Another Fennec Shand, who to date still is probably going to be one of the more expensive minifigs out there, because the only sets that all 3 sets that Fennec Shand show up in are upwards of $100.
Right.
It's the battle cruiser from Mandalorian. It's Jabba's palace from Boba Fett. And now it's this fucking thing, which is $170. It also comes with a Hunter minifig and the first ever Omega minifig.
Yeah,
That's how they get you.
And then the tiny little droid that's Cad Bane's.
I can't remember
Majordomo. Yeah.
that droid's name, but I'm pretty sure he's voiced by Seth Green.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Because I think it's a repeat, or like a similar model to one from Clone Wars.
Toto 360.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm reading it off the site.
Yeah, like both that. So there's the Justifier, and then there's the ATTE Walker. They both are cool in terms of like the bigger, transportation device, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
But the minis that you get with Cad Bane's ship are really good.
Yep, they're great.
Well, also I'm looking at the ATTE Walker.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way they get you with the minis on there is Ahsoka's clone squad.
Oh, is it?
Not Ahsoka's clone squad.
It's not? I thought that was when they gave themselves her paint job.
No, that's Obi-Wan's clone squad. That is the 212.
Oh, why did I think they were blue paint? Oh no, you're right, Commander Cody. Never mind. I'm
Yep.
No,
totally
these
wrong
guys
on
Commander
all
Cody.
have orange on them.
Yep.
There's no blue on them.
that. I
Because you're
forgot.
right. Ahsoka's squad gets blue paint.
And Ahsoka's squad is a division of the 501st
Right.
because they were Anakin's.
They were Anakin's. That's right. All right. Well, this is still cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
This is the first time that it's the version 2 clone helmet, so they have little holes within the helmet that allows for like Cody's visor. So this is a brand new Commander Cody minifig, and one that
cool.
fans have been looking for a while. The ATTE is also just like, it's a gorgeous model. It's really designed for play. It's one of the Star Wars models that I really enjoy because there's some that's like, well, it looks cool, but then it just sits on the shelf. And with the ATTE, there's a lot of playability built into it, like there's a handle that you just kind of can reach in and pick it up and move it around. And that also doubles if you have like the ATTE transport ship, like it can pick that up with that.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
They built one, like they had one for sale like years ago. Like it's essentially the same thing as the Republic gunship, only it had a hollowed out area where it picks up ATTEs.
That's
So yeah,
cool.
if you're a big Star Wars fan, that's amazing.
Although I have to say, out of all of the ones that you shared with us
Mhm.
prior to the show, the Sanctum Sanctorum is
I was
my favorite.
just about to bring that up.
It is
Because
3 whole levels to it.
well,
So I want to circle back to that in just a second.
yeah, I got
largely
thoughts.
because there's a thing that I want to mention for multiple reasons.
okay.
They interviewed the director of Lightyear. I didn't know who the director of Lightyear was. Like I knew it was Chris Evans. I knew Taika Waititi was in this. I knew it was the origin story of Buzz Lightyear, who then his story became the inspiration for the toy of Buzz Lightyear that appears in all of Toy Story.
Mhm.
There's a lot of meta levels going on. The director of the movie is Angus MacLane. Angus MacLane is a fucking AFOL I have been following for 20 years. And he went to art school with an old friend of mine. I remember this because I brought up, I'm like, yeah, I follow this guy named Angus who does these really cool Lego things. And she's like, yeah, I went to school with Angus. He's working at Pixar right now.
Wow.
So like I have this very small degree of separation. I'm like, wait, this guy, the things that Angus used to make out of Lego, he's never worked directly for Lego. He used to make these kind of chibi looking Lego square bodied figures that I know for a fact have to be the inspiration for Lego's entire Brickheads line.
That actually makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been following Angus MacLane's stuff since 1997, 1998.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when he came on screen and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Angus MacLane. I directed Lightyear." I'm like, "What?" Like, holy shit. Okay, now I actually have to go watch this movie. Like, I was already interested. I'm gonna go watch this movie now.
Have you read yet the little Portland shout out he gave the movie?
No.
So all the characters that Buzz meets when he has that hyperspace, whatever the plot point is.
Yep.
So their names are Hawthorne, Burnside, Morrison, and Steele.
Motherfucker.
Ah,
Well, he was a Portlander.
Yeah. No.
Well.
Yeah. That was 100% intentional. Yeah.
I loved. I loved his closing out for the interview or the profile I did of him was tell a story, keep it simple. Building is rebuilding. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's fucking deep.
that's nice.
That's great. I love it.
He kind of reminds me of someone I used to date.
Pacific Northwesterner. Anyway, so yeah, that's going to be my appeal to folks to go watch Lightyear.
Huh.
Get like
Plus, it looks cool.
It does look cool, and it pisses off fundies. So
I
I'm
know.
even more interested in watching this.
Why is it pissing people off?
Well, it's gotta let.
I don't want to know. I don't need to know.
You want? Okay, because I can tell you why.
I don't want to have a conversation about it. Give me like the
Nope.
boilerplate.
I think that I think we need to
let-
save that and actually have a show about it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should all watch
'Cause
Lightyear then.
We again have to tell nerds to stop being dicks.
Well, it's nerds and conservatives that are somehow together on this one.
Okay,
Kind
yeah,
of.
no, okay, definitely
Those
don't
aren't
tell
real
me
nerds,
because I'm
though.
just gonna get mad now.
So, circling back now to the Marvel news that they kind of started the convention with is the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, for comparison, I'm going to hold up the Sanctum Sanctorum that they have already released.
Oh no!
And drop minifigure down. So this was designed originally as a playset.
Mhm.
So this is designed to close and just be the Sanctum Sanctorum on one side and a pizza parlor on the other side.
Mhm.
I've modified it. It takes up a plate. This is a modicum of the size that it's going to be, because the new one, like you were saying, is 3 levels, which this is, but it's designed to fit with the modular scale of their Creator series. So that's a bigger. That means it's already at least another 10 bricks tall.
It's one of my long-term goals to snag that one. I don't buy a lot of big Lego sets anymore because it's hard to display them. But that means if I get that, I can connect the Sanctum Sanctorum with the haunted house and the Ghostbusters firehouse as this one just epic spooky street.
Okay. Yeah. No, you 100% have to do
That's
that.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't own any big sets.
They're
I never
cool.
have. They used to be like the bane of my childhood was that my parents would never buy me a Lego set. But this thing is amazing. It's just there's so much going on.
I think all of the large sets, the majority of large sets that I have, I've purchased. Outside of the few that Merrick has gone, yep, here, have another. Like she's the reason that I don't know if you can. That building right there is my Avengers Tower, where my finger is, and the Avengers Tower was 4 levels high, is the official set. She bought me another one, so I made it taller. I recently just got the Avengers Campus set, which I've then built other floors, so now it's this tall.
What is that,
Oh,
like
that's
2
right.
feet?
It's about 8 stories tall, so it's about 2 feet. It's the tallest building I have over
Have
there. And then it's going to look really silly when I finally buy the Daily Bugle, which is also modular scale, so it's
Right.
a skyscraper, and it is huge.
Have they ever done Stark Tower? Like,
No, I think by releasing the Sanctum Sanctorum, which listeners, that's $250.
that's not bad for that line.
It's not. It's comparable to everything else within the modular.
Yeah. The Ghostbusters firehouse was $399.
Yep.
The haunted house I think was $250.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, was it $250?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to remember what I paid for it. I don't.
No, I have to look it up. I have to know. Anyway, I think with them coming out with the Sanctum Sanctorum this year, and what's neat about the Sanctum Sanctorum is it has minifigures from the first Doctor Strange, the second Doctor Strange, and the Infinity War.
Yeah.
So it spreads across 3 different movies. The internal components are my favorite part because they have modular swap out walls so that you can have Strange create a portal, or you can take that away and the portal's there, but there's a monster coming through it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
There's the upstairs where they have the door that you can switch where it goes, and there's actually a pulley, or not a lever system where you can switch the destination back and forth. So it could be the desert or the ocean or somewhere in space. So it's I'm debating whether or not I need it because I've tricked out mine. Like I've created internal modular pieces that do similar things to what the new set does.
Right.
Like, oh, I want a modular playset. I can do it with the bricks I have. So I'm debating whether I really need to spend the money for that. But it is neat.
Oh man, the back of the sanctum has a ring that Strange just comes out of.
Yeah, but that's one of those
cool.
swappable walls. You can actually
Yeah.
pop
You
that
can put
off
them
and put a
wherever.
different one there. Yep.
That's awesome.
But I think that by doing this, they are leaning towards the next set, either next year or the year after, has got to be Avengers Tower.
Mhm.
And
Do you think
a
they're using this?
full-scale one.
Do you think they're at? Because this is the first Marvel thing that I remember in that Creator series, right? Or have there been other ones? Does the Daily Bugle count as that?
Yes, the Daily Bugle does, because it is also modular sized.
Okay.
So, and people responded very well to that, and I think they're going to respond to this as well. Hey, chat.
That's cool.
Yeah, I really like that set. It looks like it'd just be a lot of fun to put together.
Ooh, you can get Undead Doctor Strange. Awesome.
Yep. You get
Yeah, that's
you
like
get Doctor Strange, Sinister Strange, and Zombie Strange.
Yeah.
You
Awesome.
also get Doctor Strange 1 Wong instead of Sorcerer Supreme Wong. And then
Right.
you also get Spider-Man, and
Scarlet Witch.
Iron Man, and Ebony Maw, and Scarlet Witch. It's pretty neat.
That's cool. So you can recreate any of your movies with it.
Exactly. I think that was the point.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like how they just like labeled it Infinity Saga.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been doing that with any new releases of those particular sets. I picked the wrong category.
Oh, somewhere else it also says Multiverse of Madness. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's Doctor Strange too.
Front versus the back of the box. I just mean like how they're labeling the set, you know.
Oh, right. Optimus Prime, Haunted House. Oh yeah. Haunted House was $250. It's
Yeah.
that's why, because it has the ride in it.
Right.
It has mechanisms.
Yeah.
It's like that's not a 200, or that's not like a 2,000 piece set. But yeah, with the mechanism, I can see
Yeah.
where that is.
Kind of a bummer that you still have to buy the motors separately. And the Haunted House takes 2. It doesn't.
Yeah,
work
the
with
idea is
one.
though that you're supposed to you want to motorize all of your Lego.
Oh, I know. It's cool. I don't mean I wouldn't do it, but
What else was there that I really wanted to like? There's a new collectible minifig series is coming up, Series 23. It's another all costume set, which they did a few years back, and it was very horror themed. This is very winter holiday. Like there's a Santa, there's a reindeer, there's a snowman, there is a turkey. So it looks very cute. The big news that they brought up is for franchises they're covering is they're now producing the first Lego set based on the movie Avatar.
It's really good looking. I don't
It is.
overly care about Avatar at this point in the world, but it's a good looking set.
All right.
yeah.
They also talked about Minecraft, which is not my jam, but I get why it is other people's jam. And the interview that they had for that was they talked to a woman named Agnes Larson, who is the Minecraft game director at Mojang Studios. And
Oh, okay.
the only thing I could think the entire time that she talked was like, it's like Bjork if Bjork was a video game designer. This is weird. And then they had a YouTuber, a couple YouTubers. One is a Lego YouTuber named TD Bricks or Tyler, and the other was a Minecraft YouTuber named Cassie, who goes by Snifferish. And they built a cross section of a Minecraft cavern. Snifferish built it in Minecraft, and Tyler built it in actual Lego. And then they
Wow.
put the screens together so that you could see, and like they gave each other specs and kind of watched each other build on both sides. It was like, I didn't understand what they were doing until they completed it and they put it up on screen. I'm like, oh, that's actually neat. Like, I don't care about Minecraft and I think this is neat. I think the other, I'm hard pressed on this one. Like, there's some new Harry Potter stuff, and as much as
I know.
Harry Potter's great, and they brought in Ivana Lynch to talk about it.
Wow.
Yeah, Luna Lovegood.
I know it's that whole thing where like they're cool, but like every time you buy it, you know that she's getting money.
Yeah, and that's just it. And yeah. So
I was
Pick your
relieved
battle
not to
with
be
that
like
one,
super
kids.
excited about any of those sets.
I
Like-
did kind of think the Ministry of Magic set's kind of cool looking.
They are great. Like, I really like all of it. I'm like, I'm also not buying in them
Yeah.
anymore.
Like if I had to choose, I would say that the Courtyard one is probably my favorite. But like I don't feel like I have to have any of those. Like I
Nope.
feel like I really need to have that Sanctum Sanctorum.
I also want to give a shout out to Friends. This is the 10th anniversary of Friends,
Yeah.
which has been a contentious line for Lego for years, because there are Lego bros that are like, no, this isn't real Lego. These are awful. It's like,
Well, they're
It
not
has
for
done-
you.
except it is like that. That's just it. It's still
It's-
Lego.
It's still
It's
Lego. It just has more pink.
But if you hate it, then it wasn't meant for you
Sure.
in the general sense.
I think it had the exact effect. Like, within a year of the line debuting and interacting with customers at Guardian when we would sell Lego, I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, now I 100% get it. Like, it did exactly what it was supposed to do, which was, no, really, girls, you can play with Lego. They're like, yeah, here you go. Cool. What if I also want that Lego? Go for it. All right, then.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when did like at least the US perception of Lego being a boy's toy? Because I distinctly remember
Late
like
80s.
ads and
Late 80s.
yeah, because I distinctly remember ads in magazines. Because like in my like nerdy fantasy magazines when I was like 10, and the ad was always like it was a picture of like a girl on a pile of Legos saying like it's toys for everyone. She can dream. So I had that weird moment of like, when did it become like a boy thing?
When Toys R Us started and all other big box retailers started delineating toy aisles in a way so that parents could easily shop for things. But then it became the boys section and the girls section. And then they started color coding everything.
The late 80s is also when like the home computer started to like become a thing, and marketing started pushing technology in general towards something for boys and not for women.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at the Olivia Space Academy. That's a cool set.
That's my
Yes.
favorite one.
So
Yeah, that's neat.
the background of this is the Lego friends, these 5 friends, Andrea, Emma, Olivia, Mia, and Stephanie, have all been together, and they've all had these adventures, and now they are actively going off on, I think they were calling them like, not internships, but they were essentially going off on separate paths to try new things. Like Andrea's going to theater school, Emma's going to art school, Olivia's going to
What?
NASA. Mia
Wait, are you
is
saying the Friends line has an actual story arc?
yes,
Oh shit! I didn't know. That's cool.
because
Well, it's
it-
perfect for the 10-year mark.
yeah, it has a corresponding television show, and the final season is this next season is going to be the final season of the show, showing all of these characters going off on these different directions.
Aw,
Oh.
Yeah,
that's
More-
precious. This theater school is also really cool.
I fucking love the theater school. Oh my
And-
god, I want that one so
It's
bad.
so cool. Also,
It
if you
is
can
fantastic.
find them, they're a few years old now. I don't think you can find them other than used. The Friends line had like a weird elves fantasy offshoot.
That was
I don't
not,
remember
it
those.
was not an offshoot. It was its own line.
Oh, okay.
But it was again they wanted to get girls into their fantasy stuff, and maybe Castles was just too hard.
Yeah, I just remember seeing it, thinking all these sets would be so good for like
Yep.
D&D.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
I wish
could
the
use this theater
Elves
set
line
for a
had
D&D game.
lasted longer, but I don't think the sales supported it. They did
Right.
really cool things. Yeah, within the mini doll section of Lego, which is what the Friends figures are referred to as mini dolls,
Mm.
because they're not like that's the only complaint that I have with the Friends line is like you should. I get that those seem to be what the girls who this is how they got into Lego identified with, but they're not as compatible as the traditional minifig is.
Mm.
But the Friends line made way for elves. It made way for DC superhero girls,
That was a
Yeah.
cool set.
and it made way for all of the entire Disney princess line.
Hmm.
Because they've done Disney sets before and they've done all right, but the Disney sets that use the mini dolls instead sell like gangbusters.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Honestly, I think the colors are great.
Yeah. I have been arguing for years that not arguing. I have sustained for years that if you want to have if you play with Lego and you're playing in the modern city, the only way that you can do that is you have to collect both city system and Friends, because city system is cops, robbers, and firefighters, and a few food trucks. Friends is the rest of the fucking city. It's the cafes, it's the restaurants, it's the grocery
Right.
stores, it's the barber shops, it's the salons, it's the veterinary hospital, it's the human hospital, it's all the like the Friends series actually has a functioning city. The city sets are just cops and robbers. And I
Yeah,
have
that's what it sounds like.
yeah. You combine the two, and suddenly you have an active city. Okay, maybe still have fewer cops.
Yeah.
ACAB, even if they're like,
Just take them apart.
I jumped really quick and just looked at the XL-15 spaceship, the Buzz Lightyear set.
oh yeah,
That's a cool ship.
yes it is.
That's a really cool one.
There are within the famous AFOL community. These are people that have like Angus MacLean. There's another guy named Tim Goddard who does space in a way that is, it's gorgeous. I believe that particular ship, the XL-15, had people like him and other AFOLs that do nothing but space go, oh man, I wish I had made that. That's a good ship. Fuck.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
Oh, if Lego would only get the Star Trek license.
Ooh.
here's hoping.
Oh,
Yeah.
from your lips.
Mega Blocks, you just don't cut it, man. I'm sorry.
Megablox doesn't cut it. Megablox doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, no, I knew that.
The people that have it currently are Playmobil. So if you want to spend $500, you can get a
It is
massive
cool.
Playmobil USS Enterprise. I don't have anywhere to put it.
Yeah.
There's other stuff. I encourage people go watch it. It's fun. It is designed to be all ages and for families. So if you're expecting Talk Soup, Joel McHale, you kind of get a little bit of that. But for the most part, he's pretty family friendly and goofy. But the show's fun. There are Lego Masters on there. They build a cake, Lego cake to celebrate. I highly recommend checking out the profile on Ikao Nimako, who is an Afrofuturist and Lego, or an artist that works in Lego bricks. If you saw the Art of the Brick that is Nathan Sawa, this guy is the next level.
Wow.
It's gorgeous work. Definitely check him out. I'm going to copy and paste his name because so that people can. Oh, wait, I can't paste it there. No. Sorry. Anyway, watch it. It's worth watching. Easy to find on YouTube. That's the name of the artist that I just posted in the chat.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Check it out.
Yep.
Thanks, Cable.
You're welcome.
Well,
I think we're gonna have to skip Avatar.
yeah, we kind of went crazy, but it's fun to do these kind of deep, nerdy dives.
LegoCon's once a year. Between this and Bricks Cascade, that's like 2 times a year that I will just go blah about Lego.
Holy crap! I just googled
Unless
that
you're
guy's
American,
name, and
then you have to listen to it every other day.
I just googled that dude's name and then just clicked on the images.
Sheesh. Lego Ideas a couple months ago did a
oh shit!
A profile on yeah, right? Yeah, it's amazing stuff. They did a profile on him and they did an Afrofuturist competition where they wanted people to put together their original builds to kind of and then he was one of the judges and I think that the person who won a bunch of NASA sets from Lego. So
his 100,000 piece African metropolis sculpture is amazing. I mean, all of shit's amazing, but wow.
I think that's probably the one I just put in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, it is. That thing is incredible.
Wow. Well, I think that's a good thing to wrap on.
Yep.
So next week, Portland, right?
Next Tuesday is going to be our last show before the break.
Right. And
once again, there will still be a weekly download throughout the month of July. It just will not be live because we will not be here at these.
We're actually giving ourselves some time.
Which is good because someone is doing a thing in July and they're going to need all the time and attention that they need to do that.
That's true. I don't have to be secretive about it. Oni's bringing me to San Diego Comic-Con in July.
That's fantastic.
Yay! I always swore that if I ever went to that show, it would not be on my dime.
And it's not. Good for you.
Some things are, but I got really lucky. We have a friend who lives like 10 minutes away from the convention center, so I don't have to get a hotel room.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's usually the hardest part.
Yeah. So, yeah, I am super jazzed. A little nervous because COVID's going up, but I got my second booster last week, and I'll wear my mask and just, sometimes you got to roll craps.
Yeah. It's all you can do, man. Like that's where we're at. They've forced us into a corner where you can only take care of yourself.
Right. Bex is asking, we know the movies next week. We can tell them now, right?
Yeah, just tell them now.
Yeah, so we did oh my god, A Quiet Place. Mm-hmm. I just forgot. A Quiet Place for horror. Fantasy is going to be Willow.
Mm-hmm.
And then our rom-com is the 1998 masterpiece, The Mummy. It does fit the rules of rom-com.
Yep, we had a whole conversation about it, nerds. So don't at us.
Yeah.
So thank you for your suggestions. That's what we went with. And yeah, 2 of them are in the can. We're going to be doing one of them tomorrow.
Yep.
And we're skipping sci-fi. We're not doing a sci-fi one, but that's so that we can go to this film fest and give you completely new original content from that.
Yeah, you'll still get new content out of it, and we get to go to a horror film festival.
Yep. So next week, I think we'll talk about Avatar.
Yep.
Maybe we'll talk all about Avatar. I don't know.
Just a big Avatar push.
Well, and we'll probably, if we want,
End of Kenobi.
End of Kenobi, because
we should do that. We should do.
Okay.
I think it's a 90-minute episode.
Yeah.
Or close to that.
Oof.
Not counting Disney Plus's need for like 12-minute credit sequences because they have to give you every language.
I read something on Twitter about credits and crediting people, but I'll save that for a different day.
No, I have no problem with it. I just wish that they know what country I'm streaming from. So why do I need the German credits?
I mean, you can leave.
No, I can. No, it's more of I get into the episode and I do that thing where I'm like, how much time do I have left? There's so much to watch, and it'll be like 18 minutes, and I'll be like, any other show, 5 minutes for credits. You think, all right, I got 13 minutes, but a Disney Plus show, you're like, oh, I have 5 minutes of actual content before it's the endless credits. That's all.
I'm gonna have to look up For All Mankind. I don't know what that is.
I was gonna say, yeah, Norm. I think I'm the only one of the 3 of us who watches that show, so that's gonna be a hard sell.
Yeah,
I do agree with you. It's a really good show, but
no, it is. I just haven't watched the current season.
Oh, okay. I just started the new season. There's only 2 episodes. I think the 3rd one drops this Friday.
Yeah, it's a cool show for sure. Well, with that, I guess. I'm Aaron Duran.
I'm Bina Rita.
And I'm Cable Hashitabi.
And we will speak to everybody next week. Bye, all.
Watch out for snakes. They don't rattle anymore.
Oh, fuck!